if something does come easy, most times people overlook it, or they're like, this was too easy. This can't be how it is. And it affects actually the way that money flows to you. A lot of the times, the things that women feel that make them have that edge is because they have this mentality, I work hard. What that does is it hardens a woman. So in order for her to go into that masculine trait, like a man works hard, most of those labored positions are for hard physical labored. And so for a woman to get into that state, what has to happen now is she needs to be into that more masculine role of putting up a shield over her emotions, because they're just going to slow her down. Having emotional intelligence and having emotional mastery, this is not being like a smart person with their emotions. This is the person who is leading with their emotions, and this is their superpower, right? We're going to talk about if it wasn't hard, it wasn't earned, and why that's actually not the best patterning and programming we could be using to achieve success or anything in our lives. Many of us grew up with hard work pays off. If you didn't work hard, then it wasn't earned. If you didn't put in the effort, then you don't see the results. No pain, no gain. I can come up with so many other analogies and things to talk about that equate to when you do hard work, success comes. But what I want you to understand is that that's not always the default method or the go-to method for success. And many of the times, you'll hear someone having great success and someone will say, well, you deserve it. You've worked so hard, you deserve it. Now, if hard work was the measurement of success, then people who work at construction sites or people who are doing very labored manual jobs, janitors, really important jobs, they would be millionaires. They would be very successful, financially. And what I want you to understand is that it's just a programming that we have, but we take it along even with our higher education. I work with a lot of women who have, they're double degrees. These women have more than one degree. They know what hard work is. They know how to achieve, but they keep that programming forever. So if you earned money and it came easy, well, it could leave easy. And with that, it needs to be hard and suffering mentality. What happens is everything in your life is that way. If love didn't come, with effort and suffering, then it wasn't earned. If you didn't go and do high hit training, lots of, high adrenaline rushing at the gym, then you're not going to lose weight, right? You're not going to have that success. It won't feel like a great workout unless you gave it all and left every single sweat, blood and tears on the mat, right? Even in yoga, you'll see the competitiveness come out. I know this because I've done this. And the reason why that's actually not the best programming to have is not just because you're in that masculine energy of working hard, doing, but it also is like limiting you on what's available for you. Because if something does come easy, most times people overlook it, or they're like, this was too easy. This can't be how it is. And it affects actually the way that money flows to you. So a lot of the times I do have clients that I work with and women in my world that are making very good money, a couple $100,000, $300,000-$400,000 a year, even 100,000, 200. But they worked for it. They either have the degrees, they work for it because they don't like sit still. They work for it because every single minute of the day, they're working to achieve that success. And there's very little time left over for them or for the life that they want to really live in that enjoyment factor, because being able to have the relaxing state while having the success is foreign to them. Being able to have a down day or downtime doesn't make sense, because that's an opportunity for them to be efforting and for them to be working, for them to be, getting things done and being really highly successful, right? And what I found that programming also is pushing their success away from them a little bit further every day. Now, I'm not saying you don't take, the action. I'm not saying that you don't go do the things. There's got to be a balance between the two. There's also got to be a rewiring and a deprogramming for how you look at success. So I know a lot of my clients, Polish clients from Russia, or even Asian clients, they were told you need to work hard. Hard equals success. If you do not work hard, you will not have the success that you want. And what that does is it hardens a woman. So in order for her to go into that masculine trait, like a man works hard. Most of those labored positions are for hard physical labored. And so for a woman to get into that state, what has to happen now is she needs to be into that more masculine role of putting up a shield over her emotions, because they're just going to slow her down. Because if she feels something, if she gets upset or she gets overwhelmed or whatever emotion that's coming through, it's going to slow her down. So her success is going to be further away. And, when I first started having really high income months coming in, I was like, really, is that easy? Could it really be that easy that I could just allow it to happen? I had a client, and what happened with her was her and her kids, and I think her husband, they had the sea, and it was like 2021, I think it was the end of it. And no, 22, 21. Anyway, she had her highest cash month, $93,000. She worked so little and made so much money. This woman was programmed for it. If you didn't work hard, you didn't have success. She was a Yale graduate. She's very successful. But life had slowed her down physically and emotionally. And yet she had her highest cash month. And I think she started getting that click. Well, wait a minute. I don't work as hard and I made more money. Will 1 month reprogram you? No, it's going to be a consistently thing. Looking at, like, are you always going and pushing yourself physically in the gym? Are you pushing yourself? Are you constantly, and I'm not saying that there's not like this next level extraordinary you that exists. And I'm not saying to be lazy. I'm not saying that everything has, you have to lessen the gas. It's finding that balance, right? And a lot of the times, the things that women feel that make them have that edge is because they have this mentality, I work hard. But at the same time, you don't want to be sitting with your laptop on you on a family vacation. You don't want to be sitting there on the phone talking to, clients or whatnot, when your child's saying, mommy, look at this, I found a bug, which is the biggest thing that, could happen to a child. You don't want to miss those moments in your life. You also don't want to miss time with friends, stopping, hey, let's go have tea, or let's go have a lunch. Well, I can't, I'm working. Because at the end of the day, when we are on our deathbed, we are not going to look at all the things that we worked super hard for. We're going to look at all the things that we sat and just enjoyed, and how much pleasure life came to us. Because when you're consistent in the hard, pleasure becomes an efforting, even during sex. Because if you don't allow yourself to receive and allow yourself to be in this beautiful, soft, flowing energy, you're not going to be able to receive a lot of pleasure. So this is what happens too for high achieving women. And many of you are going, wow, she really knows. You'll reach a milestone in your business and you will not have a celebration for it. You'll turn around and go, well, that was it. Like, why don't I feel more excited about this? Why doesn't this feel more exciting? You'll feel like I should have done it already. You'll look over it. And then what will happen is that you don't sit there and sit in the enjoyment and the celebration of what could be, achieved by you. And so what happens is that you're constantly chasing a feeling that you'll never be able to sit with, because even though you had that success, you look for like, wow, it should have felt differently. It should have, I wonder why I don't feel more excited about it, because you didn't lead with your emotions in it. You just led with, I need to work hard. I need to get this done, all cerebral, all in the mind, instead of the emotional payoff that thing will give you. And this is why many high achieving women, very successful women, aren't having very connective and, relationships, even with their clients, because their emotions aren't included in it. Their emotions aren't tied into the process. This is why I teach emotional mastery. I believe that having emotional intelligence and having emotional mastery, this is not being like a smart person with their emotions. This is the person who is leading with their emotions, and this is their superpower, right? But when you've got a shield over your heart, covering whatever trauma, whatever things that happened in your past, and puts you into that boss mode, you're really eliminating all these other things that can literally take you to that next level fast. And this is where it's working less hours and having more, success, having more time with your family, creating your dream day, knowing that love can come easy. So you're not picking partners that are toxic or picking people who are just really hard to love and feeling that you're unlovable, but really being in a state where you feel worthy, where you feel like you're having these relationships that are rich and wealthy, right? And then this turns into your relationship with money, your relationship with wealth, your relationship with your business. And all of these things are connected. But when our programming, our default is if it's not hard, it's not earned. This is the level of suffering that we're living in. And I am here to tell you that we no longer need to be in suffering anymore. Suffering is a go-to thing of the past, of like way generations ago. Our moms or our grandmothers, where they did all that suffering, and it doesn't have to be like this now. Can you enjoy what you're doing and make extraordinary amounts of money, not work every single hour of the day, and yet become a millionaire? Yes, you can. I am living proof of it. And I am coming from being an attorney where we were working all day long. I'm a single mom. And let me tell you, it doesn't seem like my foot's off the gas. I still go to the gym every day. I'm into self-care. I'm going to the sauna thing. I'm also feeding into myself, going out with my friends, going on dates, enjoying my life. And you've got to find the balance. But if your only default setting is hard, you're missing out on so much more life can bring to you. And what this hard does is, and you're going to listen to a couple episodes coming up, what this does is that if you go to purchase something of like a luxury item or something that you really want, you won't be able to buy it. Because if you won't be able to buy it, because you'll be like, well, look how many hours I had to work to get that, or do I really need it? And no luxury item is something do I need my G-Wagon? Absolutely not. Do I need Louis Vuitton purses? No, but I desire them. And I also know these things bring me pleasure, make me feel wealthy. They bring and add something to my life. But when your programming is hard, what happens is that you cannot allow these beautiful luxuries in your life. And the more things that you allow to come in through a desired state, guess what? It opens up more wealth consciousness to come to you. If you're only buying things out of need and necessity because of that hard mentality and the suffering, guess what? You've literally locked down your wealth, and you've put a ceiling on what you can create. I know it sounds crazy, but let me tell you, once I start helping women break through this, their ceilings of what they created for themselves, for their income, for their success, literally move up or go away. And right now, wherever you are right now, you've put that on yourself because you were raised with it. It's not your fault. You're either your culture, your family, your mom, your dad, like hard work pays off. You've seen your parents do it, whatever role that they were in, whatever society's told you. And I'm not saying that, you need to just sit on the couch and just, waste your days away. There's a balance. There's a balance. And maybe when you find the balance will look something like this, where you are having a day where you work, a few hours, but then you also have play in that day, where you're having time for yourself, where you're either going to the gym, you're making yourself a priority, you're going to do something for self-care. I just started doing this cryotherapy. You're doing something that's just for you. And sometimes that feels so selfish when you're programmed for hard, because you feel you could be doing something else and you don't prioritize yourself. And you know what happens? Then resentment comes in because you're giving away all your energy to everybody else and none to you. So I have so much more to say about this, but life does not have to be hard. It does not have to be in suffering. This is a default programming. When you become the master of your emotions and you understand really how to reprogram that belief system, you will change the way that your success is set up. You will learn that love gets to be easy. You get to be supported. Women who are in that hard energy, they can't receive support. They can't be vulnerable because they're always doing everything themselves. So I want to show you a different way. And I hope that this episode somehow clicks something in you. Somehow there's something in there that you're like, you know what? I need to have more time for myself and not feel guilty about it. Especially if you're a mom, especially if you're a single mom. You know what? We always put ourselves last, and you've got to start prioritizing yourself. You got to start putting yourself at a place of love for you, because everything will change and it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be hard. And I'll tell you one last thing. When you think things are hard, you will take the blame for everything. Everything will be your fault. You'll always feel like you have to do something. And maybe you just don't. Maybe you just need to be. All right. If you really enjoyed this episode, please leave me a review, share it with someone who might need to listen to it, and stay tuned for the next episode. Bye for now.